Zach text you. What did he text?
You said how.
Hello, 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 everybody. Here we are today. We have a very special guest. We always got special guests, but this is a friend of mine, part of the family, one of the OTech pros. You all know him, Collins Manna. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chris to introduce him, and then we're going to let this thing rock and roll. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, good morning, everybody. Marty, I love you. Collins, I love you in the background there. I don't know a lot about Collins, but what he does for a living. I know that he's one heck of a guy. He's a great friend. He's passionate about Unpassive. He and his three other buddies have completely communicated to all the Unpassive founders and broke things down for us that probably we didn't understand as far as technical issues, which they created the old tech boys a long time, pros a long time ago, and they're phenomenal. I would say Collins is a natural born leader and speaker. I love him with all my heart. I've had many conversations with him. And I've not met him yet, but I hope to meet him someday. When we do, we're going to have a blast. But let me bring him on the camera. Don't say nothing until I get you dead center, Collins. I'll say, Collins Manna, I love you, brother. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Maddie, for for inviting me. You know, it's so amazing when they have to shine the light on you. So sometimes you feel like, what do I need to say? What do I need to speak? But again, there is always a lot to talk about when it comes to Unpassive. Now, just want to look prior to my time in Unpassive and what I was doing then. So I was born and raised in Cameroon. School in Cameroon, had my O level, ordinary level, they call it GCSE in UK, and my advanced level in Cameroon. So I was naturally a science student, 100% science. So when I moved to the Netherlands, I had to study, but because of language barrier, I did marketing and I had a degree in marketing. So at that time when I was graduating, they asked if I want to continue with master's degree and if possible PhD, because it was something that was not naturally me. Though I was doing it because of language barrier and I wanted something at that time, maybe you are young, you don't really know what you are really getting into. But I have friends as well who was a marketer in Cameroon, is working with one of the biggest telecom company in Cameroon, Orange. So this guy always encouraged me. And at that time, whilst I was in Cameroon, he used to give me little research to do, marketing research. So I was really in love. But after my degree, I discovered that this is really not for me, something that I really don't want to do it. So most of my friends in Holland, they were into IT. At that time, the only thing you can do is marketing, or you want your safe zone, a country where language barrier is always the case. And most thing you can do is, if you're a student, maybe you find like English courses in uni, which you can do. And that's why I find myself in marketing. Then move into United Kingdom. I said there is always something for me to do. So I came and I still have that desire as a science person to go into medicine. So I looked at it, but the school fees was something that will kill me, because one of the law is if you're studying in any European university, you cannot have scholarship. The government will not sponsor you. That's the truth. You have to look for a way to sponsor yourself. And it's really, really tough. At that time, I wanted to get into pharmacy. But then I find myself working with the health services for 4 years. And this is something that a lot of people don't know. Find myself at work in the microbiology lab with my A level, microbiology department in NHS. At that time, I have to raise money. And I said, you know what? I won't stop here because this is really not for me. I'm someone who doesn't like repetitive job. I really always want something that is challenging for me. So a friend of mine contacted me and said, Collins, there is something we can do, because he was also working with me in the laboratory, and we're like having that burning desire. As A level, you are just like doing some of the job. Yeah, you are happy, you're comfortable. But then if you look at those who are making more above you, they are biomedical scientists, they make more than you because they have just the pin. But it doesn't mean that they are more educated. It's their field. Yeah, they have more the pin and they are working in that environment. But you ask yourself, I can also be one of them. But again, that barrier of you looking for money, paying fees, and at that time, I'm still paying my fees in Holland. I'm still owing fees. I have to work hard and make sure they take the money. If not, you'll be in trouble. So this guy contacted me and said, Collins, there is something we can do. And I said, what? I said, all right. He said, do you know you can get into IT? I said, really? He said, yeah. Do you know you can take a program? You don't need to really do so much, but you can study, find time to study. So I started looking for the books and said, all right, what do I need to do now? Do I go into database administrator? At that time, that's when I found Vincent. Vincent was also already into IT studying. That was back then, and Vincent already got a job. That was back then, 2005, 2006, that era. So we're looking at it and said, this is something that one need to really think about. So there I get into IT, started studying, and I said, okay, to be on a site which I think I can grasp it as quick as possible whilst working for the health service, I find time to study on my own, taking courses, started moving into, I said, all right, the way I can get into it is to go into quality assurance. So I studied and I had my first certification, which is ISQB, foundation level of software testing engineering. Had that qualification, then I moved on to the tertiary part, and then I did the managerial one. Then I said, all right, this is the time for me to get a job. Whilst I was still with the health service, I said, all right, maybe this is the time to start to step out there, get out and make sure you get something for yourself. I started with first line support analyst, the support guys, you pick telephone call, you diagnose problems, and then solve the problem for the customers, client, and so. So it started giving me broader knowledge on how the IT sector works. So I did that for 12 months, and I said, all right, this is it. Now I've put my foot on that door. I need to start to look for a quality assurance job. I did that, and I got my first role. So, and that was then opened a wider door for me to start to learn how technology is being built, from scratch, or call it inception to delivery. So from then, I worked from like a junior quality assurance. I work up to main quality assurance, then move up to senior and lead QA engineer. Then from there, I started picking little stuff like, okay, how does the database work? How do things tie up together? So within the industry, I learned not only certain things, but the technicality within that particular environment. Then I said, all right, I will not stop there. Let me start to get more certification, as many as I can grab. So all my time, if I'm not working, I'm learning. I did Scrum Master certification because at that time our company was moving, the second company was moving into Scrum delivery. Exactly what ONPASSIVE is doing, the methodology they are working on. I did that as well, and then become a Scrum Master just to assist the company on doing stuff. I did risk management for a company for take it as a course because the company asks us, anybody who want to do it. And every time when I hear about it, I'm excited and I want to do it. Did risk management, and I did different certification, database, and all of those. And then it happens during the COVID time, 2000, that was 2002, 2020. At that time, I was looking, I said, all right, now this is not really enough. You either keep on studying and improving yourself, but how can one make more spending less? I started thinking about that. So there was a day, I'll remember this, when I was watching BBC in the morning, and there was this BBC morning show where they always talk about investment, and sometimes people talk about young people can make money. And then I look at some of the paper and I say, wow, so there are things that people can do to make money, but how do you do it? So I said, all right, one of my friends from US called me, said, Collins, do you know you can still make little money by trading? I said, really? He said, yes. I went online, study how to trade, then put some money on Forex, learn it myself, started trading, and then I said, no, Forex is not really good enough. Put a little bit of money. And I said, okay, I want to move up to start to trade with other things like commodity, gold, crude oils and stuff. Made some good money, but I lost most of the money that I made just by one night. And I said, wow. So is that how you can make a lot of money and with the twinkle of an eye, you lost it? And I said, this is really not on. So whilst I was thinking, I said, God, I will not give up. I will still do it because it was my own error, because I refused. I was really greedy. I said, it was my own error. Now I will find a way to make more. Then a friend called me again. He said, Collins, how is it going? I said, man, I lost all the money that I've made. This is really horrible. And I'm feeling sick now in my stomach. So he said, so this guy laughed and he said, you know what? That's how life is. You cannot give up, Collins. You just need to push on. And then he said, but there is something again I want to tell you, share with you. I said, what? He said, Go Founder. That was the time when we had that peak before the COVID. And I said, my friend, I don't want to really listen about this. You know what? I've just lost money. I hope it's not that trading thing you are talking again. So when he gave it to me, I put it aside. During COVID, again, he called me. At that time, I was hit with acute pneumonia, admitted in the hospital. It was really terrible. Even at that time, I thought I would die, you know. So because at that time, when you are sick, they always tell you it's COVID, stay home 5 days, stay home 3 days. And I was just like, man, I'm really feeling pain. I called my manager. I said, you know what, there is nothing I can do. I cannot work now. My breathing is really horrible. And I can feel like blood is oozing from my nose and my mouth. So immediately we called the ambulance. The ambulance came. They took me to the hospital. Thank God they checked and they said, no, this is acute pneumonia that has been with me for 14 days. And that's why I'm really sick. So they isolated me because of the COVID and a lot of stuff. At that time, you know, COVID was just rampant. So quick medication, and I started feeling okay. They said, no, they cannot allow me to stay in the hospital because of COVID. My lungs is really weak. And if anything happened, I can come in contact with COVID and that will really be serious. So they discharged me when they feel like, because I was in oxygen, honestly. And then when I was like, I gained my breathing back, I said, God, this is really important. Sometimes people don't know how important oxygen is until when they take it away from you. Because without oxygen, I couldn't breathe. Until when I recover everything, they say, all right, you can go home. Even when I came home, I was still sick, but at least I can breathe. And I was just thanking God for my life. I said, God, you've just given me a second chance. Then the friend called me back. He said, Collins, how are you feeling? I said, I'm okay, but I don't have the strength to work now. I can't even walk. I just need to just stay, take my medication and relax. I couldn't even go up the stairs because I was really, really weak. So bit by bit, I recovered. And this guy said, have you looked at this stuff again? I said, just give me time. So around June, something just pricked my mind, said, just take a look, because this guy couldn't even explain what Go Founder is all about. So I took it, went and make my research. I go online, I said, okay, when I saw Go Founder ONPASSIVE, I said, wow. I look at that, the ONPASSIVE site. At that time, there was no product. It was just the architecture and what I actually want to do. I called the guy back after 2 months. You know, it was June. He gave me around April, May, June. Yes. I said, I've looked at that thing. This really makes sense. I said, have you really taken a look? He said, no, you tell me. I said, well, I know you are not, you don't have any idea when it comes to IT. You are not from the IT background. But if they put this together, to me, I believe it will be one of the biggest IT company mankind have ever seen. I said, because I've never seen the integration of web application. So I started explaining a lot of stuff. I said, I know Microsoft have done this with the Microsoft package, but what this man want to do, at that time, I've not even seen Ash Mofara, nothing about him. I was just looking at the ONPASSIVE side. I said, what this man want to do is like bringing everything in one package, in one-stop shop. So I called one of my friends who is also an engineer, he's a lead programmer, and I shared it with him. He said, Collins, this thing is tough. He said, I don't think someone can do it. It will be difficult. Or even if they can do it, it will take years upon years. I said, I know very well. I know it can take 5, 6, 7 years or 10 years. But as long as they can do it, I'm in. So I asked that guy, I said, how much is it? He said $97. I said, really? I said, I've just lost 15,000 now. And you're telling me about $97? He said, yes. That very day I signed onto ONPASSIVE and I started spreading it. Though I was sick, I was just telling everyone, you know what? This is what we need. This is it. There is no IT company that will open their door and tell you come in for $97. It will never happen. Of which they know if they put it out, they will make a lot of money. Why should they bring you in? I said, which IT company have ever opened their door and said, come in as founders? They will never do it. But what Mr. Ashmufara want to do is crazy, even though I don't know him. But I'm still thinking, I hope he will not turn one day and say, I don't need you guys, because that was my fear. I said, because nobody will give this thing for free, because I was just looking as a free ride for an IT company that can sit and make hundreds of millions going. And they will say, come for $97 to make something out of it. I said, no, the only thing I know is Amazon doing some affiliate program and people are still struggling to make money. I said, Amazon, Jeff Bezos will not open the door and say, come and sit quietly. I will share the world with you. It will never happen. But Mr. Ashmufara, this man, this is what he wants to do. You come and sit still, drive everything for you, traffic, build the product, send customer, and the only thing you can do is to take money, go home. I said, this is something that has never been done before. First, the technology is not easy to build, and now we are seeing this coming. So it was just something that I sat and I was thinking, though I was sick, but I was thinking, I said, God, thank you, because this is what we need. Then there is no point going back to trade again, because my mind was, when I get well, I will still go back and trade and make money. Trade and trade and trade and make some money, extra cash whilst I'm working. But if this is really true and it is there for us, why wasting my time trading? I can concentrate on my job, and I know someone is taking care for something bigger than me, and not only for me, but for all those who want to come in, and that is really my story, Chris Johnson, and I will leave it there for you and MARTY to take it.
There he is. Oh, very good, Collins. Wow. You went way under the limit. That's really good, man. I didn't know that you were sick like that back then.
Oh, it was crazy. It was really crazy. I almost died, honestly.
He told me about that when I first met him. I went, oh my God. Yeah, bad. Blood coming out of your nose and stuff?
Yeah, my nose and my mouth, I was really bleeding. My whole lungs was gone.
He was dying. You were dying.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
That ain't good. I'm sure glad you stuck around for the greatest time of your life here.
Yeah.
But Collins, listen, I want to tell you something. I love all the tech guys, the tech pros, my brothers, but you have stood out amongst them. You've kept this going. All of them are great, and I'm not knocking anyone. You have stayed out. You have stood through and through. You basically have been by we have been by your side the whole time. We've had many conversations. We brought you on our lives. You speak so professionally, and what a lot of people know now and unpassive, but anyone new that's watching, Collins is a huge techie. He knows all about IT. You heard his background. You wanted to be a doctor? Is that true?
Yeah. I had a mission to study pharmacy.
Dr. Collins, I can see me looking up right now, but that's just intelligence there, because if you would have became a doctor, you still would have been going to school. You realize that you got to go to school your whole life, but
yeah.
I'm glad that you chose this profession. But later in life, if you still want to be a doctor, Unpassive's going to give you that time and freedom to go get that education and go. But I think you're pretty satisfied.
I got a better idea. Go buy a hospital instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the hospital. But no, pretty cool story, dude. You did it to the perfectly. You were on point. And what year did you say you came in again? 2019 or 18 or 20?
2020.
June.
June.
right before the explosion.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're not even a baby boomer. You were like, you came in right when the roller coaster was just getting to the top, man.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
came when there was, I think there were 92,000 founders.
That's about right.
Yeah,
Because July was 100,000.
yeah,
And then July the next year, 1 million.
yeah.
Wow. Well, we are very thankful for you, Collins, and your crew. All this whole time, I'm looking, Marty. I'm texting Marty, but good thing he didn't look at his messages. I'm thinking you got Collins' name over Vincent, but that's actually just the name on the screen. I was texting you, Marty. Hey, you made a mistake, but it just looks like it to me that ain't Collins. That's Vincent on there. But Collins, again, it's a privilege to not only be your friend, but just to hear you speak. Today at, I think, 12 o'clock, are you doing Saturday? You're doing the Oak Tech Pros on Saturday, right?
Not this
Yes,
Saturday.
not this Saturday, the following Saturday.
Well, glad somebody filled me in on that one. Okay, cancel.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
every other week or
Yeah.
twice a month.
Okay.
yeah.
Apologize, but thanks again, brother. You were amazing, like you've always been, and I could see you just keep doing amazing things for this company and helping a lot of people out that don't understand nothing. Like me, IT. Phew, I don't know nothing about it. So, but I'm glad you're here. You explained a lot of things to me. So, but thank you, brother.
I'm glad people got to know you, Collins, like I do. And you're definitely a diamond in this company. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that you've helped thousands of people for sure. All four of you guys. So thank you very much.
The most important guy that knows, Ash Mafara. He loves the OTech Pros. Always talking. The OTech Pros going to be there. Are the OTech Pros? Yeah, they're going to be there.
Yeah, always.
He forgets.
All right, guys.
Times.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.